Notre Dame has targeted some Rivals 100 talent to help bolster their defensive line. IrishIllustrated.com's Pete Sampson and Rivals.com's J.C. Sherbert have some names to keep in mind.
You could make an easy argument that Joseph Barksdale could be the #1 player on the board, even with the #1 overall prospect and Jimmy Clausen committed, just because the needs at defensive tackle are so severe right now with Notre Dame. They haven't signed a big-time target at that position since Trevor Laws back in 2003. So really you got a guy like Joseph Barksdale who everybody likes, who everybody thinks they have a good shot at. He's a kid that has racked up pretty much every offer imaginable. He really set out to prove that he's in the same sentence with Marvin Austin as one of the top players overall in the country. And he's a guy that's visited Notre Dame. He was there for the spring game. A guy that Notre Dame thinks they have a good shot at, but like I said, he's a guy that Texas thinks they have a good shot at him. Ohio State thinks they have a good shot at him. There are a lot of schools that feel like they're in good position with Joseph Barksdale, but he would definitely probably be the #1 guy at that position. After that, I think you go down to a guy like Will Blackwell of Louisiana. He's a Rivals 100 pick. Recently said that Notre Dame and LSU are pretty neck and neck. Notre Dame might have a slight edge there early. But if you look back at some of the Rivals 100 lists over the last 4 years of kids from Louisiana, I'd say probably about 80–85% of them end up in Baton Rouge. You get a kid that goes to Miami, Tennessee, Texas every once in a while, but Notre Dame really hasn't pulled a top guy out of that state in a long time, but Will Blackwell would be a great place to start. But with Marvin Austin, obviously everybody knows about him. He was out there for the Blue Gold game. He's an acquaintance of Aurelius Ben, who's one of Notre Dame's top targets at wide receiver, so I think a lot of people are looking at a connection there. But at the same time, they're not so tight that they're going to want to go to school together without a doubt. I think Notre Dame is in the final 10 for Austin, which is better than being out, but at the same time there's a ton of work to do there, and I think that that's a big uphill battle for Notre Dame. And I think you go down to a guy like Ian Williams out of Florida. I think everyone assumes that Florida's going to end up with him. He says that Florida's his leader, but he's a guy that has said that he wants to find out more about Notre Dame.
D'Angelo McCray is one of those guys that you got to keep an eye on if you're a Notre Dame fan. I know he's committed to Florida right now, but he is committed also to visiting other schools, and Notre Dame is one of them. I know at different points in the process he has expressed extreme interest in visiting South Bend. He's very high on the academic program at Notre Dame. He's about a 6'6", 290-pound jumbo athlete with excellent speed. He can play defensive end. He can play defensive tackle. He's very versatile and a prospect we really think a lot of.
Log on to IrishIllustrated.com for the latest Notre Dame recruiting updates. I'm Matt Sachs.